Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Betty and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your little girl's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. So first we're going to introduce you to a regular 6-foot web training leash. Brandy keeps the bulk of the leash folded in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give here at school is a tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Betty is going to come home with her very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session with Rich tomorrow. Now, Betty is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, very well under control, sitting like a lady, waiting for her next command, and that is called heel position. So heel is a position as well as an exercise, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Betty heel. Now at this point, Betty has a job to do, and that is to remain neutral with your left leg on walks, not forging ahead or lagging behind, and sitting automatically when you stop your feet, so that she should be more focused on you than what's going on around her. We bought her a blanket out because it's a little chilly today and she doesn't like to lay down on the cold ground. I don't blame her. But her heel should be with her shoulders even with your left leg. And when you stop your feet, she sits automatically without being told to wait for her next command. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Stay. Now your long sit-stay, I want you to practice indoors as well as outdoors. You're going to start out at about 30 seconds and slowly work up about 5 seconds a day all the way to 3 minutes. When Brandy returns back to her, she walks all the way around her, ending up back where they started at heel position, and at this point, Betty expects to get another command. So every time you return to those shoulders, be prepared. She's waiting for you to tell her what to do next. Brandy's going to leave her in another sit-stay. She's going to walk out to the end of the leash. And this time, instead of returning back to her, Brandy's going to demonstrate the come on command. You're going to use her name. You're going to lighten your tone of voice. You can talk her in. And when she comes in, she should sit nicely in front of you. She shouldn't be jumping all over you. And Rich is going to give you a chance to work with her, with him there acting as your coach. Brandy leaves her in another sit-stay. She turns out to the end of her leash to face Betty, and then she's going to call her again. And you can see that Betty is very happy. She comes right in and sits. She shows off her stuff, and then they go back to heeling. Now, the next couple commands are the more difficult commands in her vocabulary. The first one is a down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at your left, always have her seated first. You take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down. And then if you're going to leave her, you have to tell her stay. Now, your long down stay, you can practice right in your living room. Put her training equipment on. Practice, practice, practice. Down, stay. It's a 3 to 5 minute command. So time her. When Brandy returns back to her, she returns back to heel. And she heels her right out of it. And you're going to be able to have fun with these commands. Especially if you're working in the house, you can drop the leash, go get a drink of water as you become more comfortable using the commands. Now we're going to demonstrate that down from a heel again. So she's seated at Brandy's left. Now she's going to show off. You can just heal her out of that, Brandy. Don't let her, that's one of the things, Joe, we don't want you to do, is let her get over on you. The easiest thing in the world to do is to get her back up healing, give her the command. She has to complete it like it was taught. If you can't leave, then don't leave. But make her do what you asked her to do. And this is just her being a little bit fresh. Brandy heals her right out of that. And you gotta watch, because she's got some personality. You know her as well as we do. She can be very fresh. But Brandy's not giving up, and that's the key. You can't give up. As soon as you give up, she beat you. And Brandy will call her out of this down stay. It's very difficult with a dominant dog to get them to down successfully, and she most certainly is a dominant female. Now, the very last command that we're going to attempt here with her is the down from a distance, and this is probably the hardest one. So Brandy's going to leave her in a sit, stay, and turn to face her. She's going to use her right hand to give the command. Down. And give her the down and stay. And that was really good for Betty, because she's not always that cooperative. So we still have some work to do. We're going to be working with you at home. She is a sweet girl. We love her very, very much, and we can see most definitely why you chose to keep her and send her to school. We want to be here for you, answer any questions that you have, and help you to have a good life with Betty. Thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and we will see you very soon.